Welcome. We'll begin with Chapter 1. The Prophecies of Hermes. In Chapter 1, Hermes describes the nature of pure philosophy, but laments that in future generations it will become all but lost. The philosophy that Hermes teaches us is not a clever intellectual exercise. It is about focusing the mind in deep meditation on Atum, an ancient Egypt name for God. Such pure philosophy is about rising above mere opinions to experience directly the mind of the universe. Using the God-given gift of our own minds, we can come to know the big mind that creates and maintains the cosmos in beautiful order. For Hermes, spiritual philosophy is not opposed to science, as it is often for us today. The student of spiritual philosophy studies science as a form of devotion to God. Through understanding the secrets of the natural world, he is overcome with a sense of awe and reverence for the Creator. He appreciates the perfect order of the universe as if he were listening to a grand symphony in which every melody has been exquisitely combined to compose one magnificent harmony. Hermes prophesies, however, that this spiritual philosophy will one day become lost and confused. Speaking from our distant past, he uncannily describes the predicament we find ourselves in today. Pure philosophy has been replaced by the teachings of clever intellectuals with no mystical understanding of life. People have ceased to see the universe as a source of wonder and no longer revere it as the work of God. Spirituality has come to be dismissed by science as primitive superstition. The profound wisdom of the ancient Egyptians is thought of as a dead religion and as little more than an archaeological curiosity. Hermes foretells that Egypt, once the home of spirituality, will become a desolate place deserted by the gods. Out of compassion for future generations, Hermes writes his wisdom in the books and orders them to be hidden. Like a time capsule of truth, Hermes' vision waits for its chance to be awakened future generations who are lost and bewildered by life, people such as ourselves. The Prophecies of Hermes. Pure philosophy is spiritual striving through constant contemplation to attain true knowledge of Atum, the one God. But, speaking now in prophecy, I say that in times to come no one will pursue philosophy with single-mindedness and purity of heart. Those with a grudging and ungrudgerous temperament will try and prevent men discovering the priceless gift of immortality. Philosophy will become confused, making it hard to comprehend. It will be corrupted by spurious speculation. It will be entangled with bewildering sciences like arithmetic, music, and geometry. The student of pure philosophy studies the sciences not as fanciful theories, but as a devotion to Atum, because they reveal a universe perfectly ordered by the power of number. Because measuring the depths of the sea and forces of fire and magnitudes of physical things leads to a reverent awe at the Creator's skill and wisdom. Because the mysteries of music bear witness to the unsurpassed talent of the supreme artist, who has beautifully harmonized all things into a single whole, sufficed with sweet melodies. To simply love Atum in thought with singleness of heart, and to follow the goodness of his will, this is philosophy. Unsullied by the intrusive cravings for pointless opinions. But I foresee that, in times to come, clever intellectuals will mislead the minds of men, turning them away from pure philosophy. It will be taught that our sacred devotion was intellectual, and the heartfelt piety of assiduous service with which we Egyptians honor Atum was a waste without reward. Egypt is an image of the heavens, and the whole cosmos dwells here in its sanctuary. But the gods will desert the earth and return to heaven. Abandoning this land that was once the home of spirituality, Egypt will be forsaken and desolate, bereft of the presence of the gods. It will be overrun by foreigners who will neglect our sacred ways. This holy land of temples and shrines will be filled with corpses and funerals. The sacred Nile will be swollen with blood, and her waters will rise utterly fouled with gore. Does this make you weep? There is worse to follow. This land that was a spiritual teacher to all humankind, which loved the gods with such devotion that they deigned to sojourn here on earth. This land will exceed in all others in cruelty. The dead will outfar number the living, and the survivors will be known as Egyptians by their language alone. For in their actions they will be like men of another race. O Egypt! Nothing will remain of your religion but an empty tale, which even your own children will not believe. Nothing will be left to tell of your wisdom but old graven stones. Men will be weary of life, and will cease seeing the universe as worthy of reverent wonder. Spirituality, the greatest of all blessings, will be threatened with extinction and believed a burden to be scorned. The world will no longer be loved as an incomparable work of a tomb, a glorious moment to his primal goodness, an instrument of the divine will to evoke veneration and praise in the beholder. Egypt will be widowed. Every sacred voice will be silenced. The darkness will be preferred to light. No eyes will raise to heaven. The pure will be thought insane, and the impure will be honored as wise. The madman will be believed brave, and the wicked esteemed as good. Knowledge of the immortal soul will be laughed at and denied. No reverent words of heaven will be heard or believed. So I, thrice great Hermes, the first of men to attain all knowledge, have inscribed the secrets of the gods in sacred symbols and holy hieroglyphs on these stone tablets, which I have concealed for a future world that may seek our sacred wisdom. Through the all-seeing mind, I myself have been the witness of the invisible things of heaven, and through contemplation come to knowledge of the truth. This knowing I have set down in these writings. Chapter 1. The Prophecies of Hermes.